Hello, lovely people. Welcome to our channel, our first video. We decided we're going to do a podcast style Q&A for our first video and get this rolling, but we had some technical issues, so hopefully this works and you're seeing the final edited video.
Right. Maybe we'll save that as a podcast discussion later of all the technical difficulties we've had since we tried to record this the first time.
Yeah.
But
I guess we should probably introduce ourselves. I'm Hayley. This is Cody.
Hi, how are you?
I guess a little background. I'm an athletic trainer. I work at Ashturn, which is a hospital in Baton Rouge, and I work for a local high school as their sports medicine coverage and take care of them little kiddos when they get hurt.
Yep. I'm Cody. I'm an architect also here in town, just day to day, 40 hours a week architect, and starting in 3 weeks now, 2 weeks. I'll be going back to school for my last year to get my master's degree, which is also going to be in architecture. Just continuing education to get to where I can be fully licensed. Right now I just kind of work for an architecture firm, but I'm not technically an architect yet. Just in the process at the moment. But
Soon.
yeah, we're working there.
Loading.
Yeah, buffering. So yeah, that's a little bit about us.
We're newly married also.
Whoa, jumping topics on me.
Well,
Yeah.
I feel like that was relevant. We got married in May. It is now August. So,
It took that long to hang up the lovely portrait that you see over there in the shot.
yes.
Yeah.
And we have a wonderful puppy. Her name is Dee Dee. She is laying on the other side of me. You can't see her sleeping. But she's adorable, and you will see her in many videos.
hmm And if you're looking at all the banners and the logo of the YouTube channel, you'll see the color scheme is white, black, and red, and that's really reflective of Dee's coloring because she's black and white, and her collar is red and black. So we looked at her and said, "Yeah, that's a pretty good color scheme right there."
Yep.
Yeah, that was a pretty good intro. Let's jump into the studio setup. So this is our house. This is our spare bedroom that has become the office ever since we moved in. We've dressed it up for this podcast style shoot, but really it does look 80% this way all the time. This is my trusty L-shaped desk that I've had for years and years. It's gotten us through different iterations of things between working from home during COVID and doing school from home during COVID and just regular use. It's great. I love it. It's sort of a splurge purchase when I got it, but now I can't live without it. Here's my pop collection up here. I got a bunch of League of Legends characters up here, some anime going on here, and old boy Tyrion heading up the charge on my end. And then if we move over to here, we've got Hayley's bookcase, which I call it Hayley's bookcase because 85 to 90% of the books on that bookshelf are for her. I've got some textbooks hidden away underneath there, but everything that you can see, that's Hayley. She's got her pops going on right there too. Things that she's collected.
That's normally full, but I lent those books to someone.
Right.
I like it all synchronized.
I like to be all stacked out.
Yeah.
And we've got Professor Dumbledore guarding Hogwarts up there. That's the prime position for her.
Where he should be.
Right. So, Tyrion and Dumbledore sort of ruling the roost over here.
Yep.
What else?
This is like my chest / makeshift desk my grandmother made for me for a graduation present out of cedar. So it smells amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then just, other assortments. It's our little DD sign. We thought it would be cute for y'all to see on the chest for display. But we change out, whenever we count down to the wedding, we had to count down. And it would change the number every day. And shout out to Liz for that present.
Right.
So.
Yeah, we'll be able to change that out and make funny signs, and that'll sort of be the current state of things. That'll be our little message board for you guys to see.
And this is my futon.
Yeah, the futon is also Dee Dee's favorite thing to lay on. So if you can see her, she's on the other side of Hayley on the flattened side of the futon. But
you see her little white paw.
She likes to hide and sleep by herself, but she loves that thing. So, all right. Well, that's the intro and the studio tour. Hopefully, if we get some good community feedback, hopefully we'll be able to invest some more and put some other cool stuff in the video, dress it up a bit. Maybe we'll play Hide the Tyrion or Hide the Dumbledore for the comments down below. We'll see how that goes. Right, so one of the topics that wanted to talk about that we didn't get in any of the other versions of the recording were wanted to talk about like our overall goals for starting the YouTube channel and like what we wanted to get out of it, because I think the first video is where that explanation should live. So wanted to talk about that a little bit.
Sure. Well, we first got the comment on a Instagram Q&A when we were on our way a long road trip, and someone, my cousin Alexandra, shout out, she put on there saying that we should start a YouTube channel, and I was like, that'd be fun. And Cody, I expected to not care or be like, oh, whatever, and he was like, oh, I'm all for it, and I was like, what? So we started talking about it, and we just have a bunch of ideas, and I think it would be really fun, and I think it would be pretty unique because I think we have a lot of different ideas for the channel. So I think there'll be a lot of food and fitness for me, and for him he would do a lot of like design and gaming and things like that, and then together we would do Q&As and life, and our dog obviously would be in it too. And so I think it would just be really fun for us to do, and it would help us grow as I think in our relationship, and it would just be fun to go back and show our kids at the end of the day and be like, hey, this is what mom and dad were doing at 25, They just had their quarter life crisis and they started a YouTube channel. And I think it would just be fun, and why not,
Yeah. One, a big selling point of like wanting to do it was like going into it saying we're going to be a variety channel.
Yeah.
Because it'd be very easy to pigeonhole or say, okay, we're going to use it to prop you up and say, okay, we're just going to follow food and fitness from your end and do that all together, or do it turning the camera around and doing it for me and something like that. Whereas I feel like it's way more fulfilling if we're doing it together and like sort of alternating segments, or just saying, okay, here's a couple videos a month from your perspective, here's a couple videos a month from my perspective, and then obviously trying to do a lot of these sit downs where it's both of us, and we'll have little bits and sketches and things we want to talk about, things we want to do, just to bring you in on what we want to record hopefully we'll do these more on the weekend nights. We're recording right now on a Wednesday night. Just goes to show you the audio issues and video issues we had trying to get this first one done. If you're seeing this, which hopefully you are.
Right.
We'll go into that in the next episode or something like that.
Yeah, so sorry if I'm yawning. It's past my bedtime. It's encroaching my bedtime.
Right.
Dee Dee's over here snoring, so you can see her.
Yep. So, for future reference, if anyone asks about, overall goals of the YouTube channel, we're going to direct you right here to this segment of this pod, and this is its home until amended. So
the first question of the Q&A is, how did y'all meet?
So we'll pick it up from high school, even though I contend that we've known each other since part of middle school. We went to the same summer camp, but Hayley refuses to remember that. That's okay. It's okay.
I was in 6th grade.
Yeah.
I do not remember.
So junior year, Hayley and I had a lot of similar classes, and as part of the soccer season, she sprained her ankle. And so was on crutches for a while and needed somebody to help her get her book sack from class to class. And so I helped her out with that because we had a lot of similar classes. We were together for stretches of the day. And so we would leave class a few minutes early to give Hayley a crutching head start. And I would carry her book sack, and that led to a little bit of like one-on-one time outside of a friend group, and that was sort of
because we had mutual friends, and obviously we were in classes together. But I guess that was like the first time we really spent time together, just us, not with other people.
Mm-hmm.
So
that bleeds into one of the other Q&A questions that we got, which was what was the beginning of the interest in each other?
Oh yeah.
And I think that's probably a very similar answer. It's like
I think we just like spent time together, and as we got to know each other like individually, we had more like deeper, I guess, conversations, and I was like, oh, Cody's a really good listener, like he's a really good friend, like he's kind of cute.
Just slowly builds on itself from, we were friends before. It wasn't like that was the first time we had ever really talked to each other, but it definitely helped to have sort of a mutual time, and where it was just us. We were,
for sure.
We were the first ones in the hallways, like transitioning classes, and so it was like very much so one-on-one time.
Yeah.
Which I think to get to move past just the friend zone, I guess you'd call it, but like to move to where it's not the only thing that we think about, that was pretty important.
Yeah. Well, the next question was, how did y'all fall in love? And that kind of was what sparked it, was y'all, like you helping me to class, and then it was right around prom time, and I was in a vulnerable place because I had just been hurt and other things led up to it. But basically he asked me to prom, and he asked me to have a really good time, and I obviously, not that I would have said no anyways, but he asked me to prom, and I was like, yes, of course. And went to dinner with some friends, and then we started texting all the time, and went on a few dates, and then we made it official actually right before prom, and then the rest is history. And
which was nice to not have to wait until prom to have that kind of conversation of what are we doing here?
Yeah.
It was looking back on it, I'm very thankful that we had that conversation prior to prom.
Yeah, we're like, okay, you're my boyfriend.
I think that day I would have been way too nervous or way too caught up in everything else. Yeah, to wrap my head around that. It was nice to have had that conversation.
But I'm bold, so I was like, what are we?
Right.
I'm not about to sit around and wait for you to ask me officially whenever we're basically acting like boyfriend, girlfriend anyways.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Well, and also at that time, a lot of our friends that were going to prom together, they were together.
Yeah.
It was a bunch of couples that we were friends with.
Right.
So it would have been weird to be the only ones that are we're just going as friends, and then after prom, never talk to each other again. Not like that, at least.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I don't think, it wasn't really a question, but I think it's important to know that we also that was junior year, and then we dated senior year, and then Cody went to Louisiana Tech, and I went to LSU, so we were 4 hours apart, and we did long distance. And then I was at Mississippi College for grad school, and he was back in Baton Rouge, and so that was a 2.5 hour distance, and we did that for would have been 2 years, but because of COVID it was a year and a half, so I got an extra 6 months early home with you before we started planning this wedding, or during the planning of the wedding. And so we were together for about a year or so before we officially got married. So that was nice. And then we finished long distance. But all in all, we were together for about 8 years, and then we got married after that, like a month or so after that. And so it's been 8 years and a few months now.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we've been together for quite a while.
Right. So, and it all started with very small beginnings.
Yep.
But,
from prom.
Yep.
And made it through college and everything, which is definitely unheard of now. So we had a strong relationship going into college, I think, and just kind of grew together as we were separate, but made it work. So.
Yep.
All right. Next question. Biggest fears. I think my biggest fear is just like letting people down, like the people in my life down. It's like I want to be a good wife, a good daughter, good friend. So I think that's my biggest fear. Just letting people down.
Yeah. I guess for me it would be like a fear of missing out, and not like, oh, I feel like that friend is hanging out without me, like I need to go insert myself. It's more like missing out on experiences like when they're supposed to be happening. So like this past year I ran a marathon, and really the biggest point about doing that for me was I wanted to do a marathon when I'm still like physically able to do a marathon, and not just when it was super convenient. Because like, yeah, I know a lot of people when they retire, they like to do things that they didn't have time to do, or they didn't make time to do like in their earlier years. Mm-hmm. But I feel like the idea of running a marathon at 65 with 65-year-old knees just wasn't super appealing. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's really what I mean by fear of missing out. Like I want to do things like when I still have the energy to do them, and not just later.
Right.
So.
Yeah. All right. Next one is if you could go anywhere, where and why? I know mine. You know mine is Italy. Mm-hmm. That was where I really wanted for a honeymoon, but obviously because of COVID and just I wanted to be able to like really enjoy it, and I think it would be better for us to go later in life as like an anniversary or something, because I would want to spend like at least a week there just exploring all the different cities. I just feel like there's so much to see, and I'm Italian, so I definitely think it would be cool to experience that culture and the food and the atmosphere and everything like that. And that's always just been a dream. Maybe Greece too, but Italy's top for me.
Right. Once you get over there, I mean, it's all just hop it around.
Well, I'd do the other country a different time. I'd want to spend like...
Really give each country its own...
Right.
Dedicated time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, for me, I guess what seems more appealing for me, if I can only go one place, would be I'd rather just rent an RV or like one of those big silver bullets and just travel America. Because I feel like there's so much to America to see that you could spend a lifetime just traveling America, and probably, there's still some things you may miss out on. So I've always found that to be really appealing, like getting a national parks card and just going to see all of those, because obviously those have been preserved for hundreds of years and they're, well curated at this point. So that seems super fun to me. I mean, traveling abroad was fun, like for the honeymoon, and it seems fun in my head, but really, I guess because I'm more introverted, it seems more appealing to me to just keep it at home, play it close to the vest, and travel America. But still, like, that seems like there's a lot to unpack there.
Mm-hmm. You also didn't travel a lot as a kid, so I think that's a lot of the appeal too. Like, yeah. I traveled a lot around the U.S. Not that there's places I don't want to see, because there's lots of places that I haven't been that I want to see.
Right.
But I think for you that might be a little bit more of an appeal.
Yeah. Also, my airport anxiety was for real. Whenever we traveled for the honeymoon, I was not a super pleasant person during that experience. Not because of germs, not because of the people. It's really just like the finality of you have to be on this plane or you're going to be left in a place where you have nothing. It's just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that panic when Harry and Ron hit the thing. They hit the column and they're trying to get to 9 3/4 in the second book and they just can't get there.
Yeah.
And that moment of panic of how are we going to get where we're supposed to be? That's me the entire time that we were in airports for traveling.
I appreciate the Harry Potter reference.
It's not going to be the last time.
No, it won't. Okay. Next question is proudest accomplishments. I feel like I have a lot, obviously. Like graduating with my bachelor's and my master's degree and getting a job. We have our degrees on the wall. Getting a job out of college and grad school back in Baton Rouge with my family, with you, with my friends, and really enjoying the spot that I'm in and excited to just kind of watch it grow and becoming full-time at the high school that I'm at. And I think those are, and then obviously getting married to you is a very big accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. And just to add on to that, because a lot of the accomplishments that you mentioned are shared accomplishments, but another thing is just being thankful that we both have found jobs that we really enjoy, especially super soon, super right out the gate.
Right.
Because I know that's not always the case for a lot of people, but getting jobs where you like the people you work with, you like the people that you work for. It's just a good environment to be in, and being really close to, for both of us, being really close to what we went to school for in the first place.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. You can only eat one thing for the rest of your life. What would it be?
Chicken. Next question.
I feel like I like so many things. I think if it was a sweet, I'd pick cookies, especially some stack cookies. But to sustain me, I'd pick probably chicken or ground beef and rice. Because that's my normal meal preps.
Leave it to the fitness half of this duo to bring up nutrient values for food and not just a visceral reaction.
I could go for some steak all the time, but
yeah,
I guess all the time, what I eat all the time would be probably chicken or ground beef with rice or pasta or potatoes, carb and protein. Maybe some avocado thrown in there.
I feel like even if you had an endless supply of steak right now, you wouldn't eat steak every day.
I'd probably eat it once a week.
You gotta pick something that you can eat every single day because you've already done it.
True. Okay. What motivates you?
Well, right now, especially because I'm about to be going back to school again for this next semester, it's always motivating to do my best about time management. I've always been a chronic procrastinator, but over the past 2 years or so, I feel like I've sort of put some of that away because there's just so much to be done in a week, because obviously right now I'm going back to school and also doing work part-time to pay for that tuition the next semester, So time management has always been really motivating for me because I've never been good at it. So practicing it and trying to be better about it is motivating. And I know that if I am able to do everything that I need to do and carve out free time, now that free time is spent with you, that's super fulfilling to just be able to relax and chill with you and not be chained to this desk back here doing stuff that I should have done 3 days ago.
Yeah. I guess mine would be, I've always been career driven, I feel. So I would say just wanting to help with the kids.
It's a chair on this desk.
wanting to help the kids at my school, just like provide good coverage for them. As far as my job goes, like I just want to be able to like provide that service that they've never had. As far as life and me goes, I would say just, wanting to like be a good role model for like my kids eventually, and like bring to the table to you, like not where you're obviously giving everything, like I'm putting my share into our family, and also just like God, of course, he motivates me because I've been blessed with a wonderful life, and so I just want to glorify him in what I do. So that'd be what I would say. Next question is, what is your favorite animal?
So, we already set a parameter on this the last time we recorded it, and we'll just carry that over. So this is like, you walk into a zoo and you can only look at one animal. What are you going for?
Penguin.
For me, I always remember the Baton Rouge Zoo having like a white tiger and thinking that was the coolest thing ever.
They're pretty cool.
So, I guess. I
feel like it's something you'd see in like a movie, not like in real life.
Right.
I just always like the penguins.
Yeah.
They're so cute.
We never had penguins at any of the zoos that we were around, other than like going to New Orleans.
Yeah, I never went to the Baton Rouge Zoo really. A couple times,
Lucky.
But I would go to I'd go to New Orleans more because the Baton Rouge Zoo is not great.
It's not. Still not to this day.
That's why I don't go. Okay, what is the best gift you've ever received?
You, clearly.
Oh, that was cute.
I guess so. Something that I have gotten from you that I use just about every day or 3 or 4 times a week is my Fossil watch that I wear. Just very simple Fossil watch, blue face, leather band. I mean, I've worn this thing out so much that the leather on the inside of the strap is a completely different color than the outside. Mm-hmm. But it's just a nice, simple watch and goes with most of the outfits that I have. And I always feel more put together wearing a watch. So
yeah, styling and profiling.
Right.
I don't know what my favorite one that you've ever given me is, but I think anything that's like sentimental or like, I'm more about like gifts that are just like thoughtful, not just here's a piece of jewelry or here's, I like, obviously, whenever you give me something that that I will really like or made you think of me. So probably anytime you give me a puzzle or anytime you give me like a record. So I feel like both of those things are things that I would really enjoy just because obviously I love to do puzzles all the time. So just add that to the collection. And then a record is something that we can enjoy together too. And there's other things too. I mean, I know you've gotten me like a necklace that was like special, that was like meant more than just like, here's just a piece of jewelry. Mm-hmm. So
you're a notoriously hard person to shop for, so making something has always been easier because if I make something, it's more of a surprise and it's it's not like probing you.
I am hard to shop for.
Yeah.
Everyone tells me that. All right, this is the last question. What is your favorite thing to do together?
Well, hopefully going forward it'll be editing and making videos for the channel and, just diversifying what we put on the channel and having fun with it. But really an ideal night in for us has always been dinner, a puzzle, and a movie. And normally it's you doing a puzzle and we're watching a movie and I'm just laying on the couch giving my moral support on the puzzle.
Snuggling with Dee Dee sometimes.
Yeah. She's been a nice snuggling addition.
When she wants to, she likes
she wants to snuggle.
She likes her space.
Yeah.
She's a big growing girl.
Mm-hmm.
So I would agree with that. Or like going on a dinner date. We're big foodies, so going to somewhere nice for dinner and maybe going and getting some froyo after and just spending quality, intentional time with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So, well,
That was all our A's to Q's.
Yep.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna put a close on this and try to get this out to you guys as soon as we can. Hopefully
Sorry for the technical difficulties.
Hopefully we're past most of our technical difficulties.
And hopefully we don't sound too boring. We're just tired because we've had to retake this a few times.
Yeah.
So, and it's also past my bedtime. It's like 10:30. So, well, that's like bedtime for me. So I'm just kind of
on the way down.
Getting tired. But we're really excited to make this for y'all and hopefully some more soon. But just leave some comments down below if there's anything else that y'all want to see in the future.
Yep.
And we're excited to continue to grow this channel.
Absolutely.
Make you part of the Full Plate family.
Ooh, we'll have to come up with a catchy community name as we go.
Sounds good.
Leave that in the comments too if you got any ideas.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, guys. We're going to close. Thanks.
We'll see y'all next time.